broadcasting around the world 24 hours a day. This is Carers World Radio with Patricia Mitchell.
Hello and welcome to Carers World Radio. Now on today's programme we look forward to UK's Carers Week, which takes place from the 8th to the 14th of June, and find out about one of the major events for young carers in one borough in London. Many of us from time to time have builders, electricians, carpenters and so forth who come into our homes to improve them. Now this is often especially important to carers so that the person they care for can, for example, move more easily around the home. So today we learn what your legal rights are when having this work done by professionals and what to do if things go wrong. All that and much, much more on this month's Carers World Radio. The General Medical Council is asking doctors, patients and carers for their views on how difficult decisions on end-of-life care should be made. The new draft guidance, End-of-Life Treatment and Care, Good Practice in Decision-Making, seeks to help doctors provide good care by responding to individuals' clinical, emotional and psychological needs. The consultation is now online and carers, patients and practitioners are being encouraged to take part. Well, to tell us more about the consultation, we have on the line General Medical Council member Ros Levinson. Ros, thanks so much for joining us today.
You're welcome. Hello.
Hello. Now, I know that obviously 2002 saw the withholding and withdrawing life prolonging treatments document, which was the last sort of, if you like, significant statement on end-of-life care. But this is an interesting consultation. Can you just tell us a little bit about sort of what it seeks to achieve?
Yes, certainly. You're right. The last significant guidance was withholding and withdrawing treatments, and that's now some years ago. And of course, things have moved on in a number of ways. There have, of course, been some changes in the legislation and case law, and also in how people think about these issues. And we try, as a regulator of the medical profession, to keep the advice that we give to the profession up to date. And so this is an opportunity to look at the issue afresh and not perhaps just to concentrate on withholding and withdrawing treatments, but also on broader issues around choices and treatment at the end of life.
And do you anticipate that there's going to be sort of any changes in terms of what's going to come out of this consultation period, or it's going to affect change? Because obviously you're going for a sort of quite a broad canvas of opinion in terms of talking to practitioners, doctors, as well as carers, obviously, which is our particular area of concern.
Well, certainly, I hope so. Our consultation is deliberately very broad. We've had a lot of events and we have a conference coming up. We're hoping that a lot of people will either write in or use the website to make their views known. It's really important to us that we get the views, obviously, of the profession, but also of the general public, because after all, we're all going to be patients. We're all going to reach the end of our lives at some point, and certainly extremely important that we get the views of carers who are so significant to the people they're caring for, not just at all times, but particularly at the end of life. So we really hope it will be very broad.
And it seems to me that this is not just broad in terms of who you're consulting, but also in terms of the areas that you're consulting, because I know it also goes into the realms not just of what you might expect from sort of like the previous document, withholding and withdrawing life-prolonging treatments, but also the idea of advanced care planning, palliative care, for example. What's the idea behind that? Has things shifted so much in the 7 years since the last guidance?
Yes, I think so. To pick up your point about advanced care planning, more people perhaps now are willing to think about the choices they want to make for themselves at the end of life. And our guidance, our draft guidance, is suggesting that doctors should engage with patients and assist them to think about those issues. It's obviously very daunting for all of us to think about and to anticipate what we'll want at the end of our lives, but our professional medical advisors that we have a lot of trust in can be very helpful in outlining to us some of the implications of possible choices and giving a bit of space, if you like, emotional space also, to have those discussions.
What is actually the process, if you like, of the consultation? Because I know that the working group is chaired by Lady Christine Ames, who's the former Northern Ireland Human Rights Commissioner, so somebody who's actually used to dealing with the more, not just obviously the legal stance, but also in terms of the emotional and psychological well-being of people in general. So that's obviously got to have an effect in terms of how the guidance is going to be delivered. But what's the process? At the moment you're at the consultation stage.
Yes, and the consultation will run until the 13th of July this year. Anyone who would like to see what's going on about that consultation and to get the document online or to receive a copy in any other way can go to the GMC's website, and that's www.gmc-uk.org. And I think quite clearly on the front page of that, it will signal people towards the end-of-life care draft guidance. As I say, we'd be very pleased indeed if people would respond. There's also a short form of consultation questions because perhaps not everybody will want to go into it in the same level of detail, but there are a number of questions that people can answer on matters of principle, if you like, to indicate their views and their priorities, and those who want to go into it in more detail can also do that.
And don't forget, a new national helpline for carers is now live. Carers Direct operates 7 days a week, Monday to Friday, 8 a.m. to 9 p.m, and Saturday and Sunday, 11 a.m. until 4 p.m. The helpline is able to provide both national and local information to carers across the United Kingdom. Now, if you need to phone the helpline, here is the number. It's 0808 802 0202. I'm going to say that again. It's 0808 802 0202. The helpline is also backed up by a comprehensive website at www.nhs.uk/carers direct. I'm going to say that again. It's www.nhs.uk/carers direct. It's the UK Carers Week from the 8th to the 14th of June. This annual event, which this year is titled Carers, the UK Secret Service, highlights and celebrates the incredible contribution carers make, sharing the positive experiences as well as the more difficult. Well, part of the Secret Service is the United Kingdom's young carers. Now, these are children and young people who may look after a parent who is ill, disabled, or who is addicted to drugs or alcohol, or they also may assist the rest of the family when a parent isn't able to, or they give up their time to help parents look after a disabled brother or sister. This year in the London Borough of Barking and Dagenham, a major event takes place for young carers with the launch of a DVD which young carers have made and an evening for young carers. Well, to tell us more about this event is Carl Canadia, Carers Strategic Lead for Barking and Dagenham. Carl, lovely to have you on board with us today. I know we've got this special event which Carers World Radio is going to be attending, but tell me a little bit about the launch of the DVD, because it's really quite an achievement, isn't it?
It is indeed, yes. The launch is mainly organised to celebrate young carers and the fantastic work, as you say, they do. But also the launch is to launch the DVD, so to speak, that the young carers have made. The DVD is part of a summer project that they did last year. And within the summer project, they get opportunity to go out to visit various places, but also to take some time out from the caring role. And one of the activities they did was about making the DVD. And the main purpose of the DVD is to provide other young people with caring responsibility information and advice on how to access support and help with their caring role, but also how to take a break and meet other carers. The DVD looks at, public perception. So young people went out on the streets and asked general public if they knew what young carer meant, and they took that from and took the information and started developing what material needed to go on the DVD. They also did a short film which they scripted themselves about a dramatized version of what young carers actually do to raise the profile. But also it was about breaking away from the bad publicity or the poor perception that people have about young people with caring responsibility. So it's the DVD really challenges people's perception, but also gives young people information and support, really. So that's what the DVD is all about.
Tell us, how can people get hold of the DVD once it's actually been launched? What's the situation with that?
What we are doing is the DVD, once it's launched, is going to be in circulation at major places in the borough. We've got schools, GP surgeries, sports centres, and various gyms and various public places where most of young kids go, cinemas, for example, bowling alleys, shopping centres. They're freely available there.